I've been away, haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think
if you're feeding a person a crap sandwich with a smile, it's still a crap sandwich.
Truer words have never been spoken there, Colonel West. Thank you for that. We do appreciate you, sir. Loved it when I had him on the show that time. Great guest. We're going to have to try to get him on here again. Looking forward to it. What do you think? Did you remember the story we reported last week about the Justice Department and the fact that the president finally gets Jeff Sessions in office, and lo and behold, there are all these stories filtering out, things being leaked. And then they separately announced that they're going to replace all of these democratically appointed U.S. attorneys from the past 7 or 8 years. And you'd think that they had committed treason. It's unbelievable. James Hirsen joining us right now. James, how are you, my friend?
How are you, Mark? Good to be with you.
I'm doing great. Let me tell people about your website, jameshirsen.com. You can go on and check out more about the articles that James has posted up there. Most recently, one about Jeff Sessions and the Justice Department starting the job of draining the swamp in that particular agency.
Yeah, what was amazing about this, and this was when basically it was announced, there were 46 remaining U.S. attorneys left over. These are Obama administration-appointed attorneys that they were asked for their resignation. And the thing that's fascinating is the way the media covered it, and, of course, the way the Democrats reacted to it. Both the media and the Democratic Party treat President Trump as if he is illegitimate, and it's reflected in their headline writing. And it just seems like every day we see distorted headlines. Well, that's what this was. CNN, of course, being, sort of the fake news factory, basically had a headline that said, "Anger mounts over the handling of U.S. attorney firings." And the New York Times said Trump abruptly orders 46 Obama-era prosecutors to resign. And there were lots of others. BuzzFeed was in there with talking about Sessions ousting the attorneys. And then there was this reporting that very kind of snarkily said that the timing was suspect because it came after Sean Hannity on Fox on cable, as the New York Times said, who often speaks with Mr. Trump, called for a purge of Obama appointees. By the way, Sean aptly did so, but lots of other people all over the social media, and I'm sure people within the Trump administration have been calling on him to purge. The usual Democrat spokespeople, my senator in California, Dianne Feinstein, 85-year-old Dianne Feinstein, a walking case for term limits, was surprised and concerned. Charles Schumer was troubled. Elizabeth Warren tweeted, "You can't fire the rule of law," and Elijah Cummings said there was a cover-up. And so they always go to the outer rims. But the fact is, behind this is not only is this routine, it was the same type of thing was done by Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and lots of other presidents. And in the modern era, it's just a normal occurrence. Now, they didn't give any notice, and they told them on Friday, basically clean your desk out, by midnight. And almost most of them, like there's about 93 U.S. attorneys, about half of them had already resigned because they knew if the opposing party's president gets into office, this is likely to happen.
Right.
But there was a more imperative, compelling reason for Trump to do this. And they say, well, why did he wait so long? Well, when the Democrats dragged their feet and tried to destroy Senator Sessions as a human being by accusing him of racism, obviously he had to wait until he had his attorney general firmly in office before he could send out the letter and asking for the resignation. And so they did that right away, almost right away after Sessions was in. But the compelling reason is because the Justice Department, according to reports, spied on the Trump campaign, key members of his campaign, and tried to spy on the candidate. Clearly, there was some spying taking place of General Michael Flynn, we know. And so, in all of this, is talked about in the news recently, the press, including some people at Fox News, want to say, well, this story's over because a couple of members of Congress said, we don't have any evidence that Obama ordered a wiretap of Trump Tower. Well, that statement, President Trump said he put wiretap in quotes because he meant a broader statement.
Surveillance of some sort, right?
Surveillance.
Yeah.
And when you say Obama ordered, the president never literally issues that order. As a matter of fact, if it's a FISA warrant, the order comes from a judge. If it's an order to go after a FISA warrant, that would come from the head of the CIA or the head of the FBI or possibly the Attorney General, and that would be normal. According to reports, these FISA warrants were sought by the Justice Department, and the Justice Department hasn't responded to these congressional committees yet. The only people that have responded is the intelligence departments. And so for them to make statements that there's no evidence is premature and utterly playing into the hands of the Democrats, which Republicans are very adept at doing. And so it's just an unfortunate thing and I believe President Trump, he recently said in an interview, one with Tucker Carlson, he said, you're going to be seeing some new documents in the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
I can't tell you what they are yet. No, he's teasing it. And I have a feeling these documents are going to be more dramatic even than Rachel Maddow's exposing of the actors.
Well, I think there are some nervous people out there. I mean, right down the line, while I think maybe he overstated it, he probably should have just left it more broad and said the Obama administration, instead of calling the former president out specifically. Ari Fleischer pointed out this morning on Outnumbered that, he kind of hid the little nugget of information that he had in there. It kind of got overshadowed because he mentioned President Obama by name. But if he didn't know something, I have a hard time believing he'd be basically saying, well, just wait because you're going to see yourselves.
The fact is that, there's always this plausible deniability, this buffer zone placed around the president. But there's nothing that Eric Holder or Loretta Lynch or any of these Obama cabinet members do without his knowledge and without him being complicit. And, and so everybody knows that. And look, it wasn't anyone else that expanded Executive Order, the Executive Order 12333 that allowed essentially the leaking to occur by having classified material shared with so many more agencies. That was Obama. His signature's on that document.
Right.
It's public record. And there, because of the bureaucracy and the way people work, if there's a real investigation, there may well be some texts or emails or something that show his knowledge and that he was complicit. But the fact is, there was surveillance. There's so many reports of surveillance. Now, all of a sudden, you have anchors saying definitively that there were no FISA warrants. When we have reporters who are reputable, who are saying they have sources indicating that, yes, indeed, there were FISA warrants sought, and there was a particular server that was registered to Trump Tower. That's another parsing of words. Was the server located in Trump Tower? That's questionable. But it was registered to Trump Tower, and that there were digital communications with a Russian bank that they were trying to check on. But now there's a new story emerging.
James, I'm about to run up against a hard break here. Great reporting. Let me direct people to jameshirsen.com. You can read more on James' reporting on this and what else these investigations might turn up. Listen, I really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you on again. James Hirsen there. You can go to jameshirsen.com to find out more about what he's writing. All right, up next, we'll talk to Jonathan Seri from the Fox News Channel on the state of Tennessee fighting back against this refugee resettlement program. It's all coming up right here on The Marc Cox Show.
This hour of The Marc Cox Show brought to you by Naputi Wellness, NaputiWellnessCenter.com.
Remodeling a kitchen can be overwhelming. There's coming up with the right design, then choosing the right cabinets and countertops, finding an installer that will make our kitchen perfect, and staying within our budget. I found my new kitchen at Have a Nice Kitchen in Fenton. I wanted a design expert that